So Daryl, welcome. You are the fitness director at Mayfair Lakeshore, and you're also a provincial strength and conditioning coach. And I really appreciate you coming down today to talk to us about squash players. So we're addressing squash players who are in the training to train segment. They are guys between the ages of about 12 to 16 and girls between the ages of about 11 to 15. And what I'd love you to share with us is what you would consider your three biggest training principles that would be really relevant to kids of this age. And we're taking particularly children at the moment, developing adults. Mm-hmm. So what would you say would be your three biggest training principles?
The three principles that I would work off would be body weight training. After that, I would want the kids to be involved in as many different types of sports as possible. And from that point there, what we're essentially would be trying to do is build an aerobic base for them.
Okay, so when you talk about body weight training, what you're saying is absolutely no weight, but they could do whatever they wanted to do with their bodies. So give us an example of the sort of things that they would be doing.
Basic squat, lunge movements, push-ups would be acceptable. What we would look at is movements that, say, gymnasts would do. The very basic movements that they would do would probably be the most ideal to start with.
When you talk about basic movements, you're talking about forward roll, just to be able to move their body and be agile.
Yeah, forward, tumbling, body awareness, that type of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the planking or squats or push-ups, what sort of volume would you expect those sort of athletes to do?
That's something that they could probably do 3 days a week. What we would more or less look at is just the quality of the movement and to make sure that they're doing it correctly. That would be the most important.
And how many should they do?
I would look at the higher rep range, somewhere between 15 to 20.
Okay.
Most certainly, based on the sport they play.
And 15 or 20, is that once, or 15 or 20 3 times, or?
As far as sets, I would say anywhere from 3 to 4 sets would be sufficient.
Okay, so no more than that?
No, it's not required.
Great. So as their body's developing and we know that they're going through their pubic spurts, so they're really vulnerable to injury at this point. Mm-hmm. You're talking about them playing other games. So what's the benefit of them playing, let's say, soccer, ultimate frisbee, swimming, those sort of things?
What we're trying to do is you're trying to give them body awareness, and what we're trying to do as well is not to recreate the same motor patterns. So the more sports that they play, the more body awareness they have, essentially they're going to become a better athlete because of it.
Oh, I see. And they just transfer those skills to the sport they want to do later on.
100%. Yeah. Essentially, that's what we're trying to do.
So you're training a smart brain, a smart athlete,
Exactly.
a smart body.
Yes.
And you expose them to all sorts of different things so that they are really aware and smart and understand how they can use their body as a tool.
Yeah, we're just trying to connect the brain to the muscle, essentially, is what we want to do.
Okay.
Trying to build smart muscles.
Smart muscles.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about this aerobic capacity, that was your third principle. So our first principle is no weights, just use body weight. So they can do as much jumping and running as they want. The second principle is to do lots of different activities so that they don't have repetitive injuries. And the third principle you said was to build their aerobic capacity. So what does that mean?
For children of that age, I would say very little in the way of structure, but more activity. So I would tie that more into principle number 2, whereas the more sports they play, the better, and let them naturally build their aerobic capacity based on that.
So in other words, bike to their soccer game.
100%. Exactly.
Okay, swim during the summer.
Recess.
Yes. That sort of stuff. Play around at recess.
Of course.
Okay, I see. So they shouldn't be on their iPad then?
No, most certainly not. That's a battle nowadays, I know that.
Yeah, so we're talking about keeping the body active, and then just naturally over time, when they get, as they build their aerobic capacity, they will get stronger and they'll be able to do more. Now, what about rest?
Rest and recovery at that age, their body has the ability to do a lot of things. So they're going to rest when they want to rest. Same as with aerobic capacity, it doesn't have to be as structured. Kids will stop when they want to stop, and they'll go when they're ready to go. As they get older, it changes.
Okay. So When it comes to specific training at this age, would you expect them to be doing just squash on the court?
No. The more sports they're involved in, the better. The more joints that are involved in the sport is better as well. Simple things like swimming, gymnastics, soccer, karate is excellent. Those are all stuff that would improve them as a squash player.
Fantastic. Well, I think that gives them a really good general overview of what they're looking to do, and I really, really appreciate you coming down. Thank you so much.